everybody, and we're back for another What in the World. It's Dean here joining us and
Howdy.
Talks Tatters. So, guys, thank you for joining us on another What in the World. So, Dean, we're back here again. Another month has passed. We say this all the time.
Indeed.
And so much is going on, isn't it? It's another eruption in the UK again.
Isn't there usually one?
Yes, we're going to talk about Anne Whitcomb. And love her or hate her.
A nation that can't control its own borders, its own trade deals, its own laws, is not a sovereign state. And I was determined that Britain should be sovereign.
Very outspoken lady, wasn't she? She didn't hold back in what she said. She
I
stood
liked
in
her.
what she believed in.
Let you answer. So people will say Anne Widdecombe is racist. What is your comments on that?
Well, I mean, if people are going to make an allegation like that, then let them produce the evidence. I know of no reason to be called racist at all, and therefore I'm not going to defend myself because I hear no precise accusation. That the mere fact that you want to control your borders makes you racist, then most of Britain is racist. I do not support giving asylum to people who come from safe countries. Now, when I last looked, France was a safe country. So why don't they apply for asylum in France? Answer, because Britain is a much softer touch. A genuine asylum seeker will always be welcome. But the definition of asylum in international law, an asylum seeker, is somebody who's suffering persecution in their own country, not somebody who comes from a poor country. We have always accepted genuine asylum seekers. But now, people come here unlawfully from safe countries. I'm not buying that.
She actually had a spine. She had a backbone to her. And she stood for what she believed in. And I think that's something to be praised for, really. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with someone standing up for something that they believe in just because, hey, it's politically correct or it just makes everybody happy. The question is in terms of motivation. But the fact that the police officers at the beginning said, we don't think it's politically motivated, so please don't speculate, blah, blah, blah. Even though it seemed pretty obvious to the public that that was the case, and they have consequently now said that that is the case. Surprise, surprise. It just seems daft to me. It's like they honestly think that the common folk doesn't have any common sense that can work things out and put two and two together and make four. It's like, oh no, we have the specialists here. We've done a degree in criminology, so we know exactly what happened. It's okay. That still doesn't change the fact that the average person can still see something for what it is and go, hey, that's obvious what that is. It did seem like they were kind of urinating on our legs, so to speak, and saying, hey guys, it's raining.
I love that, Dean. Urinating on our legs, saying it's raining. Yeah, I don't know, Dean, something feels off.
Well, it would have meant that she would have died by blunt force trauma. So it would have been a bludgeoning to death. That just sounds horrible even saying that for this poor lady. I just don't get it. I mean, I remember hearing her on TV sometimes and stuff, and just the idea of that even happening to her doesn't even make any sense. I don't think it's quite sunk in yet.
A lot of people were praising and celebrating and saying it's good that she's passed on.
This is Heather Herbert, who charmingly posted on Blue Sky, and some good news for once. I hope it was an extremely painful death, and I hope she was handcuffed to the bed as she screamed in agony. And these aren't random beds at Cranks. This is an Aberdeen University employee.
How wicked and evil is that?
Right, okay. It's like when Bin Laden died. The US troops went in there and got him. I could understand people celebrating that due to the fact of the nature of what that man did. Okay. That he wasn't a man that went around hugging people, loving people, and set up charities. It was a very evil man that was very corrupt and liked to kill people. So the fact that some people celebrated that, for example, maybe when that happened, understandable. But just a little old lady that happens to be a politician speaking up for the values that she stands for, I don't see why he'd want to celebrate that, because she's not a war criminal. She's not a murderer. You see what I'm saying? If you draw the lines together, the same thing, and how does the same conclusion happen? As a hypothesis, for example. Well, the fact that the criteria of the two are totally worlds apart doesn't make sense. And it's just an ordinary person, pretty much, in the sense of just doing their job and everything else, standing up for what they believe in, to celebrate that when you compare it to people like a war criminal that maybe died, and some people celebrated that, for example.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of controversy around how she lived her political life. I'm a real believer that the values that we hold are the politics that we practice, and I feel like it would go amiss to not mention the fact that she pushed against LGBTQ plus rights throughout all of her career. I would also feel like it's time to say that she also said a lot of things about the victims of Harvey Weinstein during the Me Too. She said they chose it upon themselves, and she was vehemently anti-abortion, which in this country is not such a political issue in the same way that it is in the States. So I feel like even though what's happened is absolutely awful, there are a lot of people who won't be grieving this.
I don't see how they're on path. They're not. They're just not. It's weird.
It doesn't work. So you can see like politics in the UK is going down a trajectory where it's now, you have a political belief in this, you could literally lose your life. That's what the statement is being made.
Absolutely ridiculous. The fact that it's just an old lady all the way over the other side of the nation doing her thing, and that's just her job and everything else. And then that person over there just has a different opinion to her. Oh, I know, the idea is to take her life. I'm sorry. That makes absolutely no sense. That is bonkers. That is madness, insanity. Filled with people that maybe could have difference of opinions, but didn't think, well, the answer is, hey, let's just kill them for it. Doesn't that tell you how radically insane and demented modern day society has got? And how extreme the chasm between the two are? I mean, it's insanity. That's all you can say, I think. If you compare the statistics for the right of freedom of speech in this country versus Russia, for example, we're talking Russia here under Putin, more people get locked up in this country for what they say and what they think than what they do in Russia. And we're talking about Russia here, folks. Doesn't that tell you how bad it's got? I mean, come on.
I never thought in England that you have your free speech is going, taking away your freedom of speech and democracy. It might come a time where we can't come up onto this platform and talk about things like this.
Yeah, it's an authoritarian regime that wants to control the masses. It's very similar to socialist government, and obviously Keir Starmer and the Labour government are very much the left-wing side of things. They are very much socialist, but as you may or may not know by history itself, all countries that have tried and attempted socialism have failed. None have worked. The USSR failed. Cuba failed. Every country you can think about that tried it failed. It doesn't work, folks. It's a broken system. It just doesn't work, and it won't work for us. Right?
Really in a weak position as a nation, aren't we? As people in the nation, we're disarmed. They literally have disarmed us.
Yes, that's right, literally. Well, even Adolf Hitler said that the first rule of thumb to enslave a nation is to first disarm them. You know, that's what dictators do. And that's how they have power and authority over people. You take away the people's liberties' teeth, their right to defend themselves, and then you have a toothless lion, and it can try and bite you all it wants. It doesn't matter.
So, guys, and Dean, I was going to say, before I forget, you have now got a YouTube video, haven't you? So would you like to plug out
YouTube channel?
Your YouTube channel?
Yes, my channel is Spit Pips, or Spit the Pips. And the idea came to me by my nan, who heard about it or said about it from my great-grandfather, who was a preacher, actually. And he used to say to her as a kid, whenever you hear a message from anyone, you chew the fruit and you spit out the pips. So you take the good stuff and you spit out the bad, and that's where it came from, the idea from it. That's on YouTube, so please do watch and enjoy.
And check it out, and please subscribe to his channel. If you like the things that he says on here, the political things or different sort of topics that you talk about, don't you, Dean? So
that's right.
Go and subscribe to him. He needs the views. He needs the subscribers, and he will build his little community over there. But Dean, it's been a pleasure. And we really do enjoy doing this, don't we, Dean? Each month.
Yes,
coming up here.
That's right.
And just chopping this up, you know. So, and guys, thank you for watching. So is there anything you would like to leave out, Dean? And I know what you're going to say. Your motto.
Watch and pray.
Watch and pray. I'm going to get you a T-shirt.
There
Watch
you go.
and pray. A
There you
little
go.
cup. Watch and pray.
Oh, that's what Jesus said. I think there's nothing wrong with reiterating that point. He's absolutely right. So yeah, I mean, what can you do? Some things most things, let's be honest, are totally out of our hands. And so knowing that we have a higher power that we can turn to is the only solution to any problem. And that's submitted in prayer. And that's why I say watch and pray.
And go and plug out Dean's YouTube channel. Stay blessed, guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
God bless.